yesterday was quite an epic day.
3, 2, 1.
Ours.
You guys just hang back there for a second. I'll get lined up. Okay, we're rolling. Look with him.
Yeah, I still can't believe what happened. Basically, I showed up to YPK Airport and it was a closed off runway for us from 6:15 till about 11 a.m. And I was told to show up. I had no idea what I was in for. And so I just didn't even know what cameras to bring really, but I brought my Leica Q, my trusty old Leica Q. And I actually just put on this warming filter, as you can see here. This is the Tiffin warming filter, and it's also a quarter black pro mist. And I was like, you know what, I've been shooting a lot of film and I kind of wanted to see if I could get a little bit more of a film look in camera with my Q, with my digital. I know with warming filters, you don't really need them nowadays with digital cameras because you can just do it in post. But, you know, shooting JPEG isn't something I do, you know, for the client per se, but I do it for social media. If I'm just using the app to get the photos right off of the camera really quick, I'm often just using JPEGs and just adding a little bit of a look to it with like VSCO, for example. It's not like you need a warming filter, but I feel like because you have a warming filter on there, what it does is basically your auto white balance will just cancel for the warming filter. So that's kind of where people say it's not necessary. But because I have the warming filter on there, I can see it and I'm purposely shooting for a warmer look. And so what that ends up doing is I end up just choosing the white balance, you know, like kind of, you know, what you would do with if you're shooting video, you would just lock in your white balance as, you know, tungsten or 5000K. For the morning shoot, it was basically just really foggy and really interesting light. And so I just locked it in as, you know, like 5000 Kelvin. So you add that warmth in the camera, and while you're looking through the viewfinder, you get that really nice warm look. And especially for this fog, I think it looked really cool. Some of you who follow will know my Nikons are film cameras. So I had the Nikon F6 and Nikon F5. I brought a 14-24 2.8, which is kind of just a wide angle, catch everything just in case. And I brought my 200 F2 again, which is another, you know, I love that lens. It's huge. It's kind of ridiculous. But when it hits right, there's nothing like it. So I actually just got the email for the film and I haven't seen it yet. So let's have a look and hopefully something turned out. Okay, so how they do it is, I'm trying to not see. This is kind of why the blinders are nice. So this is shot on the Lomography 800 film stock. And fun fact, I didn't know this until recently. Lomography is rebranded Kodak film. Yeah, it's not official because I don't think Kodak kind of markets this, I think for obvious reasons. But from what I was told from Photo, which is where I bought the film from, Marley told me that Lomography is Lomography 800 is essentially Kodak Ultramax 800, just rehoused, rebranded. It's the same thing. So these first shots you'll see are from my trip to Bella Coola, which is about 12 hours drive north of BC. I haven't filmed me looking at those photos. I completely just was too excited to see the photos and I completely forgot. I'm sorry about that. But I'm gonna show you those photos now. Bella Cool is pretty cool. Don't tell anyone else because I don't want it to be just crazy next year when I go back. But yeah, worth checking out. So this is the Nikon Nikkor 200mm f2 VR version 1. I think it came out in like, what, 2006, something like that. I bought this used not that long ago, maybe like just before COVID. And it was kind of because I had seen all these other reviewers. Matt Granger kind of sticks out in my mind as somebody who said that this is one of their favorite Nikon lenses ever made. And, you know, we've all shot a 70-200 2.8, and it's like, why would you want such a big lens? Here's a 70-200, you know, on Fujifilm. Here's this 200mm f2. It's ridiculous. It's super heavy. It's 6 pounds. I've put on an Arca Swiss like bigger handle just so you can grab it and like walk around and not drop your camera. This is on the F5. This hood is like some sort of, feels like carbon fiber. It is a monster. You can lay the lens down on the hood, which is actually pretty handy. You immediately look like a professional photographer when you show up with one of these. People take you very seriously. And the autofocus, here, listen to this. Here, listen. Yeah, that's end to end, full range in like a second. It is super fast, even on an old F5. I've shot this on a D5, D850, and it's ridiculously fast still. It's probably one of the fastest autofocusing, for sure, telephoto lenses. It's just, they don't make them like this anymore. So I took this up to Bella Coola, and I took this out yesterday to YPK Airport, and I am so glad I did. Something happened here with the F5. My F5 is quite old and it's quite beat up. I got it many, many years ago. It was probably used by some reporter, and like, you know, a real reporter camera. And it's showing some signs of aging. I've had to kind of, you know, just give it some more love. And yesterday on the shoot, you know, I loaded some film in, and I would go like, you know, trying to hit the 8 frame per second high speed shooting. And it would just go and it would single shot, and then it would see an error message come up, and I was like, like this is kind of a once in a lifetime opportunity, and this camera's locking up. And so in the field, I kind of made a silly judgment call. I wanted to see what was wrong, and sometimes when the error message comes up right after you loaded a roll of film, maybe the film's not catching, and that's what the error message is telling you. So I had done a couple shots on the roll, and I wanted to make sure that it was actually taking. The spool was spinning, so it should have been right. But I was, you know, I opened up the back because I was like, okay, if I'm gonna keep shooting on this camera, I wanna know that it's gonna catch for the next ones, but I might sacrifice the first 6 shots that I've already taken on this fresh roll. So these shots I'm thinking will be pretty overexposed, but let's find out. So this was like early in the morning. This was like 7 a.m. The fog was really heavy here at YPK Airport, and shooting on Lomography 800 with the f2 200mm was actually pretty sweet because it was actually possible to shoot in this low of light. If I brought the 500 5.6, it would have just been way too slow. So yeah, and I'm wondering what this is here. I think this is like a ghost from this 992 GT3 back here. Let me know what you think. It doesn't look like it's you know, some sort of issue with the film or something that I did wrong. Yeah, I think it's just a ghost. And we have here a cameo. Yeah, so this was Revered Cinema's camera rig. This is a X5M loaded with 5 people. You've got the director, the AD, the focus puller, the person running the arm itself. It's wild, and it's still pulling crazy fast compared to these cars. Here you had Alex. Shout out to Alex, who brought this beautiful 930 turbo, and Ben, the car guy, back here with his 992 GT3. So this, I love this shot. I really like this light here from the 992, but unfortunately it looks like I focused too close. With this fog, it was actually pretty tough, but I wonder wonder with a little bit of punch how that would look. I mean, it's really grainy, but I mean, I kind of dig the grain anyways. Long live the grain. Yeah, I'll play with this more. I'm gonna be posting a lot of these shots on my Instagram, so go follow me at fourthdimension.pics. So yeah, super grainy. So yeah, maybe lomography 800. Marley at BoPhoto did tell me that to underexpose this wasn't going to be amazing, but I'm still happy. I think that's really cool. You get the lean of the car going on. Alex just having a ball out there on a closed runway. I mean, how many times do you get a closed runway so that you can say you're a professional driver on a closed course, right? Oh, that's a wicked silhouette. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. This is definitely a lot more grain than I was hoping for. But I think that's kind of the whole point of lomography, is it's a little bit more low quality in a way, like low crispness that you would get out of like a clean, Fujifilm Velvia or like, a Portra kind of thing. It's definitely, a more budget-friendly film. So if you don't mind the grain, I guess it's a good option, but it's something to consider. Okay, so, never fly a drone near an airport, right? Not true if you can tell ATC that, hey, we're gonna fly a drone at your airport. That's pretty rad. That was the Inspire 2 DJI. That's sweet. Oh yeah, you get the light from the runway kind of lights. That's wicked. Yeah, I mean, I'd buy that. That looks pretty good. I'm digging the grain. I mean, it's definitely a little heavy, but I don't hate it either. That's wicked. I like that. I like that a lot. And then yeah, we shot out of the pickup truck thanks to Nick, who was driving us around. That's why you got that bit of a vignette there. And just gonna correct my horizon. That looks cool. That looks like it's out of a Christopher Nolan film, doesn't it? This is on the 200mm f2. It looks like, a classic Le Mans like morning, misty morning, driving through the countryside. Like that was what I was hoping for with this shot. Heck yeah. So yeah, I was just doing like slower pan, f22, 1/60th of a second, trying to get the background blur, and that is the money shot. That is super cool. You can see that you're in an airport. This is like some sort of safety thing. Oh gosh, that looks good. Yeah. This was basically just like grown men bringing their toys out and closing an airport for us to play with. This is just hard to come up with something more fun to do on a Wednesday morning. Cool. And then we had Christian flying in this Extra 2, I believe it's called. This is like a, one of those planes that do crazy flips, like, full vertical with like 0 airspeed kind of thing. And he flew in from Boundary Bay, which is, I don't know, like 20 minutes away, just like ripping it through, coming in and like doing some low passes for us. Yeah, this was a fun day. Yeah, I'm glad I got the camera car in the shot with Christian just looking like a badass. The props are going too. I was shooting really fast, probably like, I don't know, 2,000th of a second. Again, because I'm on ISO 800. That's when it started to bug me a bit, because I was starting to I was shooting too fast at that point. So I wanted to, an ND would have been nice here, but that's okay. I can't have it all. Let's just see what this looks like. So this is when they were doing passes. That's pretty cool. The airplane, Christian back here, and I think I nail it here. Yeah, he's coming through, ripping it through. He's going like, I think he was saying like 200 kph here, or not. So this was the F6 with the 14-24, ripping it at 5.5 frames per second on film. I'm glad that's empty. So yeah, as you can see, this is skied pretty fast. Sweet. That's awesome. We can see the whole trail. Hashtag chemtrail. Okay, so that was roll 1. Grizzly bears. Cool. So this was another plane from the shoot. I didn't stick around till the end, unfortunately. I had to run something else, but that's what they continue doing. I really love this shot. I did a digital version on my Q as well, which I posted, and I really love that shot. It feels like it's something out of Forza 7. And I was just really trying to nail this leading line to this 930 Turbo, and then you got another line to the 992 GT3, which is epic. Did I tweak this yet? A little bit, yeah, I tweaked it a bit. So, original, yeah. And this one I'm gonna tweak this one too. I really like this one. That's awesome. Just a little bit of contrast. Like these lines were freshly painted too, so like everything was just insane. We have Will here. I think he's focus pulling on the because there's 2 cameras actually on the Ukraine camera arm. One that was more tele and one that was wider. And yeah, we have Will here. So you had 2 focus pullers in the car actually, and what a kit! Like, you know, car and camera grail right here. I mean, if I had to choose the grail car, hey, maybe my 4Runners do. Maybe it's time to upgrade the 4Runner. But the 4Runner is great, but there's no way it could have kept up with these guys. Like, anyone who's ever driven an SR5 4Runner, you know what I'm talking about. It doesn't go. Oh man, this is cool. We have Liam here and Nick and the rest of the crew. What a crew, like just unreal. Like Mike, you put together one hell of a crew with the Revered Cinema guys and gals. Yeah, this is Mike here, Mike Goldstein, briefing us on what we wanted to shoot next. This was before the planes came out, so obviously safety first. We have Derek here from YPK Airport, making sure we're doing everything, you know, to spec. And this is Liam here in the car. Awesome, cool. So that was quite a fun day yesterday. I still can't believe we had that opportunity. And yeah, just thank you everyone for being so inviting and just like, you know, everyone's just having a good time, and like that just made things, you know, so rewarding, but also we were kept professional and like everything was just done like a proper movie or like done like a proper commercial. And you know, that's kind of what these are for. We're creating a spec ad basically for ourselves. We're coming up there to shoot something that we can now show our clients that like, hey, you know, you give us the project, we can pump something out like this, which is, you know, it's something that you got to do to invest in yourself sometimes when work is slow, or, you know, maybe you got nothing to do that day, and like you can grab a couple rolls of film or grab your digital cameras and just shoot, you know, what you want to shoot, and you get to produce something that not only do you love, but like this is something that you can show other people that this is why you're worth what you're worth. So I highly recommend, you know, investing in yourself, taking the time to, you know, get out of the house at like 5 a.m. to go to a random shoot that you know nothing about, because you can come back with something really cool and you can put on your portfolio. This isn't to say like, you know, go shoot stuff for free or like, you know, lower your prices. This is about really choosing what you want to do and getting after it. Like, this is stuff that I would have loved to be paid to do, but like this is kind of where you manifest, where you're gonna put yourself in the future. So that's all I got to say about that. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more, please like and subscribe. I'm going to be posting a lot on my Instagram with this shoot as well, so go find me at fourthdimension.pics. And yeah, have a great time. Like, I'm going to be going to Japan this Sunday and creating a lot of content with Michael Clark and George Nobechi, so please follow for that. It's going to be an epic, I can't say too much right now, but it's going to be really, really insane. And I think it might even top this. So thanks for watching. Bye. But I don't want you to see my eyes looking over here. So you think I'm talking to you and looking at you, but actually my eyes are over here. And that's kind of, this is something I learned from Casey Neistat. Yeah, you kind of look weird wearing sunglasses inside, but it works for what you're doing, like vlogging. Like, would you rather I be talking to you like this? Like, it just doesn't feel like it's personal, but same thing. It looks like I'm talking to you, but I'm not looking into the screen, because when you look into the screen, you see your reflection and it's not the prettiest thing. But if you look over here, it's more for the composition. If I want to place my head there, I can do that. But if I'm looking in the screen, in the lens, you just lose track of it. So, thanks.